willingness to sacrifice for each other.
I'd like to say a word about Danny and Doc. They've created a culture here of being patient, of drafting well and developing players. If you like the way Al Jefferson plays, as I've said to many people, you ought to look at who drafted him and who coached him. And they're going to love him in Minnesota, and it's hard to see Al go. Danny and Doc have set up a climate where we had the pieces that we could offer, somewhat reluctantly, but to get a third-grade superstar as the core of our team as we try to make a run and try to become a contending team, which is going to be a lot of hard work away. We might get there. I'd like to say that these players off the court, each of them, to me, embody Celtic pride. Kevin received the community award. Paul's charity event, I think, is next week out in LA and is devoted to the Truth Fund. And Ray still brings hundreds of kids up from Connecticut to our games when Seattle was back in town, and I'm sure he'll still be doing it now that he's a Celtic. These are Celtics on and off the court. I'm proud to have them here. Last thing I'd like to say is Boston is a special town. I've heard from so many of our fans today, and I've also heard from John Henry, Bob Kraft, and Charlie Jacobs on behalf of the Jacobs family. They've all called, and they're ecstatic for us, the Celtics. So we're glad to be back. We appreciate their support, and this is a great time to be a Celtic.
It's definitely a great opportunity. I've been in the league. I have great respect for this organization. I remember going back in the days when this organization battled against the Lakers, and every time they came in here, they were afraid to walk into the Garden. And I think those are the days that we're heading back to here. You know, the opponent walk into this building knowing that they have a lot to be afraid of, and not just from one position. For myself, you know, I greatly respect everybody up here at this panel, because everybody up here does their job in a professional manner. Everybody up here wants to win, and most importantly, everybody's a good person. So we know, but from myself to Kevin to Paul, you know, we've talked here in the last couple of hours and the last day or so, and we share similar philosophies. We all were on teams last year that didn't make the playoffs, that we had a lot of young players that we had to nurture and mature, get them to play basketball for 82 games. And it's such a great pleasure and an honor now to step on the floor with these two guys, night in, night out, knowing, you know, what I'm going to get from them. I watched them a lot on TV. Don't get mad at me, because sometimes I might watch them while I'm out there on the floor, you know, being a fan still. But it's just a great joy and a great honor for me to be here, and I'm thankful to the ownership for bringing me here.
Yeah, echo basically what everyone else said. I couldn't be more excited, obviously. Before I talk about Kevin and Ray and Paul and the job that Danny and Wick and ownership have done, for a coach, this is a great day for me, and it's also been a very difficult day. Al and Ryan and those guys, you put your heart into those guys, you know, the young guys, you really do. And so making that trade call was difficult. I mean, I'm an emotional coach, and I put my heart into this game, and you put your heart into your players. I think that's what every coach should do. And so that was difficult. Al and Ryan and Gerald and Bassey, they're all going to be great. And I wish them all the luck, and except for against us, in the world. On this trade, I love it. I just think it gives us a chance. It gives us hope. That's what we want. You know, from low expectations to high expectations, that's what we want. That's exactly what we want. And I can't wait to get started. I do wish training camp started tomorrow. But it doesn't, so I have to be patient.
It's early.
That's all right, Paul. It's in Italy, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. But I really can't. So again, I'm just excited. We always have three terrific players. We have three classy players. We have three unselfish players, and we have three players who want to make it work. And when you do that, you have a chance to make it work. And so let's get it going. I can't wait.
Sorry to add one more thing, but early on, my wife and I were sitting at a game, and Paul was knocked to the floor, and his teeth literally fell out, and I think might have hit her shoe. And we're sort of like, oh my God, I mean, I'd be in my bed for a month if that ever happened to me. And Paul was back in the game, I think, 5 minutes later, and he just went to the dentist the next day, and he got it done before shoot-around or before practice. And we knew then that we wanted to build this team around Paul Pierce, and that's, Paul's still here, and others have joined him, and that is really just the way I wanted it.
Let me introduce Brandy. Brandy, will you stand up over there? This is Kevin's wife. We want to welcome her to Boston. I'd also like to recognize a couple guys that to do deals like these that we did at draft time and to do the deals of this magnitude. I mean, it is a lot of hours and a lot of work. And our two biggest guys back here, we got Zarin. Come on, Zarin, come out here. And there's Frank Burke. I mean, those guys are up till 2 o'clock in the night, most nights for the last week. So I just wanted to recognize them and thank those guys. And also Dave Wohl. Dave Wohl's not here today. He's actually working right now. He's the only one in the organization that's working at this time. He's out watching film and having some conversation with some other free agents. So I'd like to thank Dave also.
Open it up for a few questions.
Hi, this is for Kevin. When you started thinking about this trade after draft night, at what point did it click in that this was the best thing for you? And just
the more I continue to talk to Minnesota about the future and making the team better, and them voicing their opinions on what they see forth for their team in the future, and it contradicts with how I saw it or what I thought would be best for making the team better. The more and more it came to, real life that I probably won't be in the Timberwolves jersey this year. And just looking at different teams, I know Paul and I had similar conversations in the past, playing with each other. And when you're on a team and you've carried a team for a while, you tend to think that certain conversations are just he say, or y'all just shooting the breeze, so to speak. And I'm telling you, the more and more I knew that Minnesota's interest was very different from mine, I had to think about different alternatives. And there was no way I was going to be able to go to some other franchise organization and have this caliber of talent with these two who've carried their organization since I've been in the league. And there was no way I was going to be able to duplicate that anywhere else. Say again? I reached out to Paul's 4 phones and left a message on all 4. Luckily, Ray had 2 phones, and he immediately called me back. And
I didn't recognize the area code.
Hey, Paul, thanks for your help.
It's on 4 phones. So, yeah, but I did reach out. I spoke to Ray, and I asked around. I asked Antoine how was the city. He gave me nothing but great things to say about the city. Talked to GP about the city, and slowly but surely got a lot more comfortable with a new situation and just start to embrace it and start to really just try to visualize myself in a Celtic uniform. And so I start to make those steps towards doing that. And I'd like to thank Minnesota for 12 years of greatness and having fun there. That city is a beautiful city. I've always have a home there. I always have a special place in my heart. But I think at this point in my career, I can't do young. And I think that you need veterans to win. I think Paul echoed that earlier. You definitely need veterans in this league to win. And when I knew that they wanted to do something different from that, then I start to look for alternatives. But I'm glad to be here. I told Danny when I first talked to him, it feels good to be appreciated. And at the end of the day, you don't have to, pat me on the back. It's just good to recognize that. And I don't know, I'm excited. I'm kind of I told them, it's like being in a Lamborghini doing 200 with your head stuck out the window. That's what this last